Hello, and welcome to Christian Word Podcast. In today's episode, I'm going to read the book of Exodus, chapter 39. And of the blue and purple and scarlet, they made clothes of service to do service in the holy place, and made a holy garment for Aaron as the Lord commanded Moses. And he made the ephod of gold, blue, and purple and scarlet and fine twined lining. And they did beat the gold into tin plates and cut it into wires to work it in the blue and in the purple and in the scarlet and in the fine lining with cunning work. They made shoulder pieces for it to couple it together. By the two edges was it coupled together, and the curious girdle of his ephod that was upon it was of the same according to the work thereof, of gold, blue, purple, and scarlet and fine twined lining, as the Lord commanded Moses. And they wrought on stones enclosed in inches of gold, graven as signets are graven, with the names of the children of Israel. And they put them on the shoulders of the ephod, that they should be stones for a memorial to the children of Israel, as the Lord commanded Moses. And he made the breastplate of cunning work, like the work of the ephod, of gold, blue, and purple, and scarlet, and fine twined lining. It was 4 square. They made the breastplate to double. A span was the length thereof, and a span the breadth thereof, being doubled. And they set in it 4 rows of stones. The first row was a sardius, a topaz, and a carbuncle. This was the first row. And the second row, an emerald, a sapphire, and a diamond. And the third row, a lingua, an agate, and an amethyst. And the fourth row, a bryce, an onyx, and a jasper. They were enclosed in arches of gold in their enclosing. And the stones were according to the names of the children of Israel, 12, according to their names, like the engraving of the signet, every one with his name, according to the 12 tribes. And he made upon the breastplate chains at the ends, of writing work of pure gold. And they made 2 inches of gold and 2 gold rings, and put the 2 rings in the 2 ends of the breastplate. They put the 2 written chains of gold in the 2 rings on the ends of the breastplate, and the 2 ends of the 2 written chains they fastened in the 2 inches, and put them on the shoulder pieces of the ephod before it. And they made 2 rings of gold, and put them on the 2 ends of the breastplate upon the border of it, which was on the side of the ephod inward. And they made 2 other golden rings, and put them on the 2 sides of the ephod underneath, towards the 4 parts of it, over against the other coupling thereof, above the curious girdle of the ephod. And they did bind the breastplate by its rings unto the rings of the ephod with a lace of blue, that it might be above the curious girdle of the ephod, and that the breastplate might not be loose from the ephod, as the Lord commanded Moses. And he made the robe of the ephod of woven work, all of blue. And there was an hole in the midst of the robe, as the hole of an ebragon, with a banner round about the hole, that it should not rent. And he made upon the hems of the robe pomegranates of blue and purple and scarlet and twined lining. And he made bells of pure gold, and put the bells between the pomegranates upon the hem of the robe, round about between the pomegranates. A bell and a pomegranate, a bell and a pomegranate, round about the hem of the robe, to minister in, as the Lord commanded Moses. And he made coats of fine lining of woven work for Aaron and for his sons, and a mitre of fine lining, and goodly bonnet of fine lining, and lining breeches of fine twined lining, and a girdle of fine twined lining, and blue and purple, and scarlet of needlework, as the Lord commanded Moses. And he made a plate of the holy crown of pure gold, and wrote upon it the writing, like to the engraving of a signet, holiness to the Lord. And they tied unto it a lace of blue, to fasten it on high upon the mitre, as the Lord commanded Moses. Thus was all the work of the tabernacle of the tent of the congregation finished. And the children of Israel did according to all that the Lord commanded Moses, so did they. And they brought the tabernacle unto Moses the tent and all its furniture, its thatches, its boards, its bars, and its pillars and its sockets, and the covering of ram skins dyed red, and the covering of badger skins, and the veil of the covering, the ark of the testimony and staves thereof, and the mercy seat, the table and all the vessels thereof, and the shewbread, and pure candlestick with the lamps thereof, even with the lamps to be set in order, and all the vessels thereof, and the oil for light, and the golden altar, and the anointing oil, and the sweet incense, and the hanging of the tabernacle door, the brazen altar, and his grate of brass, his steps, and all his vessels, the levies, and his foot, and hanging of the court, his pillars, and his socket, and the hanging for the court gates, his cords, and his pins, and all the vessels of the service of the tabernacle for the tent of the congregation, the cloth of service to do service in the holy place, and the holy garment for Aaron the priest, and his son's garment to minister in the priest's office, according to all that the Lord commanded Moses. So the children of Israel made all the work. And Moses did look upon all the work, and behold, they had done it as the Lord had commanded. Even so had they done it, and Moses blessed them. Thank you for listening.